Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? Is the mic on? Make sure this mic is working. Last time we had the mic, it wasn't working. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? We about to go live, go live, go live. What's up? Make sure this mic is working. All right, what's up? What's up? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We're about to talk about success and failure. We're going to talk about failure. What is failure? What is success? What is failure? Got the vacuum in the way. I was cleaning the house. All right. So we want to go ahead and get started. What's up, everybody? My name is Lavelle Hewitt. I am your host of Do It in the Dark, a podcast on introspection and accountability. Today, I want to go over some things that I've learned from speaking with new business owners, and also I want to share some statistics with you and hopefully shed some light on the topic of failure. What is failure, and why so many people start with businesses but don't feel successful with their business, or should I say they don't even continue on and they don't do the business, right? So today we're going to discuss what is failure. But before we get into that, I want to break down the definition of failure, right? Failure is, by definition, it states failure is a state or condition of not meeting a desirable or intended objective. And it may be viewed as the opposite of success. The criteria for failure depends on context, and it may be relative to a particular observer or belief system. So that definition, once again, I want to read it to you. Failure is the state or condition of not meeting a desirable or intended objective. And it may be viewed as the opposite of success. The criteria for failure depends on context and may be relative to a particular observer or belief system. Now, another definition would state that the lack of success or the omission expected of a required action is considered to be failure. I would venture to say that in a general sense, that is true. Like if you're trying to win a football game and you fail to score, if you do not score, then you don't win the game. Obviously, that's considered a failure in that sport. But I think business and building a business is a little bit different. There are times in business where being successful is not based on a sale or service in that moment, right? Being successful actually probably depends more on what did you learn from that first experience or that first-hand experience, right? What did you gain from that situation that you can now take and use as a building block to continue growing your business? So if you look at it from that perspective, then you didn't fail. I believe everything has to be put into proper context. And psychologically, we have to understand what exactly are you looking for. So we went over the definition of failure, but let me give you now the definition of what success is. Success is the good or bad outcome of an undertaking, the accomplishments of an aim or purpose. So it says the good or bad undertaking, outcomes of an undertaking. So what this is saying is, in order to be successful, it doesn't mean that you can't fail, because clearly it says good or bad outcomes of an undertaking. So the bad may be failure, but you still can be successful even if you fail. It just depends on what was the intended aim for your outcome. So today I want to talk to you guys about what are the three things that I think most people um, fall victim to when they're starting a new business. And as it relates to failure, they give the word failure too much power. So let's see if we can script the word failure of its power and talk about why you can fail and still be successful. So before I get into those three things, I want to talk to you about um, what not to do in terms of setting yourself up for failure. If you are a new entrepreneur, this podcast and my channel is geared toward, it's a training station, right? I have created and I'm building every week, putting content out here. And this is for new people who are about to start a business, or new entrepreneurs who are about to launch themselves into the aspect of being a potential business owner. So what I want to do is talk to you about three things I think will help you to be successful in business. And those three things are, let's talk about how not to set yourself up for failure. So the first thing would be, don't create a business based on a trend or social wave. Do not start a business based on a trend or social wave. I remember about 10 years ago when apps really started to take off. We're talking 2010, 2011. Everybody wanted to do an app. And so everybody was thinking, how do I get into this space? It's my belief that if that's not something that you're willing to dedicate the time to educate yourself on, please don't do it. Don't do it. Because what will happen is you will spend time on something that is not important enough for you to continue doing, and you lose valuable resources. All right. So I want to make sure that you all get that. Do not set yourself up for failure. All right. So give me a second. We're about to, I think we need to take this conversation live to Instagram. And so we're going to be live on Facebook, and we're going to go live on Instagram. How about that? And then we'll talk about this with everybody. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. All right. What's up? What's up? We're talking about not setting yourself up for failure in business. Not setting yourself up for failure in business. All right. And so there's 5 things I want to talk to you guys about. All right. So let's get this started. Don't set yourself up for failure. All right. All right. What's up, everybody? What's up? How you doing? How you doing? We're going to wait a few minutes. We are live on Facebook, and we're live on YouTube, and we're about to go ahead and go live on Instagram too. Today, we're talking about why it's important for business owners or new business owners not to set themselves up for failure and what that looks like. And also not to be afraid of the word failure. So today we're talking about what failure is and starting a new business. and why people don't necessarily fail with business, but they quit to save face before they actually get a chance to fail. What's up, love? How you doing? For those who don't know, as you come in, my name is Lavelle Hewitt. Uh, I see a few of my previous students are on here. I'm a psychology instructor by trade, but also a business owner. And I've created a platform on YouTube called Do It in the Dark. I would love for you guys to subscribe to my channel. It should be in my link on Instagram, but doitinthedark.com. Do It in the Dark on YouTube. It's the podcast. And what I do is I put out content to help business owners, our new business owners, build their business and, kind of avoid some of the pitfalls that I actually went through as a new entrepreneur. So today we're going to talk about what is failure and how not to set yourself up for failure. And so I wanted to wait and go live on Instagram and YouTube just to make sure that we can capture some of this content. And we have more people joining on Instagram than on YouTube, but that's cool. We'll set this up as a replay on YouTube, and people can grab the content, and you can go and read the content and kind of freeze frame certain aspects of it. So today I just want to talk about, as you are looking at starting your company, starting a new venture in life, the statistics are out there, right? So I'm going to read to you what the stats are. So according to the statistics of Bureau, the Labor Bureau, right? And it says approximately 20% of small businesses fail within the first year. By the end of the second year, 30% of businesses have already failed. By the end of the fifth year, about half of those will fail. And with a decade in, only 30% of the businesses will actually remain. So we're talking about a 70% failure rate in people who are eventually starting a business. If that is true, that the failure rate is so high, why is it that so many people continue to want to start a business? I think it starts with people have aspirations, they have ideas, they have, generalizations of what they think is like to be in business. And so, yeah, they want to get started. But when you start going through the process of building your company, people become disenchanted and they actually lose sight of what that's like and they quit. I don't even know if people truly fail in business. I think they quit. And so, yeah, we don't want you to initially start and quit. So I want to give you some tools on what failure looks like so you can kind of keep going. So the definition of failure is simple. It says, failure is the state or condition of not meeting a desirable or intended objective. And it may be viewed as the opposite of success. The criteria for failure depends on the context, and may be relative to a particular observer or belief system. So keeping it simple is what it means is when you fail in something, it does not mean that you have not been successful. It means that the desirable intended outcome has not been met yet. So what you want to do is change the narrative on what failure means to you. And throughout that experience, once you change that narrative, you can also change the outcome from failure to now viewing it as a successful outcome. And that'll take you a little bit longer, a little bit further as you build your business. So I put in the comments, I wanted y'all to look at this and take this with you. Don't set yourself up for failure. If you're starting a business, there are 3 things I want you to talk about and think about before you go into business. Number 1, don't create a business based on trends or social waves. If y'all can remember maybe about 10 years ago when creating apps really became a thing, right? A lot of people wanted to, what he said? Yeah, I agree. And I'm working on that. But if you remember 10 years ago, when apps came out, a lot of people wanted to become app creators. Creating an app, there's a technical component to that you have to have. And if you wasn't willing to put the time in, then you're not going to be able to just all of a sudden create an app. So a lot of people jumped on the bandwagon, and that's why we're going over rule number one in terms of don't set yourself up for failure. Don't create a business based on a trend or a social wave. When apps became a thing 10 years ago, people were jumping on the bandwagon. I'm gonna create an app. Let me get a group of friends and we're gonna create this app. And now those people have faded away and they've become disenchanted with becoming business owners, because really that wasn't their niche. That wasn't something they had a passion about, and wasn't something that they really should have been doing. So rule number one: don't create a business based on a trend or social wave. All right. Number two: don't go into business with people who don't share your values or your views. So before you start your business, do you even want to have a business partner? Right? Is that something that you really want to do? And if so, you got to determine, do you want to be in business with people that you don't know? Or do you want to be in business with people who are friends of yours? Statistics will tell you that 80% of people who start businesses with their families, the business fails within the first 5 years. Sometimes being too comfortable and too familiar with your business partners in terms of family does not work. I've done both. I've been in business with family and I've done business with close friends. And each time it has been met with certain challenges. The people that I currently have as business partners, we're not friends. We're mainly associates, but we have common interests as it relates to the business that we're in. So I would advise you to, if you're going to be in business in a partnership, be in business with people who have common interests in that particular industry. Okay. And then rule number three: never suffer in silence. Never suffer in silence. And like Sweet Georgia Peach just said, you have to find mentors in that industry that will bring you along and people that will help you. And that's something that I, intend to do with my platform on YouTube, do it in the dark, the podcast. And as I create more content, I want to show younger business owners, these are some of the things that I had to go through, bumps in the road, obstacles, whatever you call them, to make sure that I was trying my best to be successful. And I want you to be successful and if you can, avoid the pitfalls that I went through. Okay. So those are the three things I want to talk about in terms of not setting yourself up for failure. One, don't create a business based on a trend or a social wave. Do not go in business with people who don't share your values and views. And three, do not suffer in silence. Make sure that you intend to find a mentor or think tank or help a group of people that are willing to help you to build and grow your business. All right. And that's what we want to talk about today. I appreciate y'all for coming in. Thank y'all for logging in on live, and hope y'all have a great one. Peace. All right, so we just ended the live on Instagram, but we're going to continue this. We're going to continue this on YouTube because I think it's important. And the three things that I want to get to you right now, my YouTube crew, as we were all paying attention, I know y'all heard that the three things to not set yourself up for failure. And those things are: one, don't create a business based on trend or social wave. Number two, don't go in business with people who don't share your views. And number three, don't suffer in silence. Make sure you have a mentor or a think tank of people who can help you and mentor you through business. Right. So that is the aspect of not setting yourself up for failure. So now I want to cover the three things that we initially talked about as it relates to business and not failing in business. We give the word failure too much control over us. And there are three things I want to go over with you right now to make sure that you don't give failure too much power. Let's talk about it. So number one is take the negative feelings from that experience, but keep what you learned about business. Too many times we feel our way through the learning process when we should be learning how to navigate that experience. You don't want to feel your way through that process all the time. One of the biggest things that go wrong in starting a business One of the biggest things that goes wrong in starting a business is we give failure way too much power. So let's go over number one again. Take the negative feelings from that experience, but keep what you learn about business. Too many times we are feeling our way through the growing process instead of learning how to navigate that experience. And that's something that we want to do a better job at. You don't want to feel every aspect of the ups and downs of growing a business. Everything is not meant for you to feel something. Sometimes that's just the way it is. No matter how hard you plan something, there are certain things that you just can't plan for. And that's just the nature of the way things work. You're not going to be able to plan for everything that goes wrong. But what did you learn from that aspect? That's what you take away. What did you learn from that experience that's going to make you a better entrepreneur as you continue to grow the business? So let's talk about number two. Number two is identify what fear that was attached to that failure. Most times when we fail, it's because we're too fearful to follow through with the experience. So most times it's not even a true failure that we failed at something, but instead we quit to save face before we actually fail. I know a lot of business owners who said they came across hard times. Things happened in their life. So, yeah, they had to shut down their business. They had to stop doing business because they didn't want that to continue and be a part of what they're now known for, right? Or either it got too tough for them. Sometimes that's true. But there are other times where people say, man, this is not going the way I thought it would go. So instead of them continue on with the process, they quit and say that the business failed. No, it says right here, because we give the word failure too much power, identify what fear was attached to that failure. Most times when we fail, it's not because it is because we are too fearful to follow through with the experience. So most of us, it's not truly that we failed. It instead is because we quit before we had a chance to fail just to save face. I don't want you all out there trying to start a business and thinking about saving face at the same time. Either you in it or you ain't. And that's the part that you have to deal with and take accountability about. If you're going to be in business and start a company, you got to go through the ups and downs and fight through to see what is the end result actually going to look like. Don't quit before you get started. And rule number three, we fail because we don't trust our gut. Listening to other people's experiences, limitations, and problems can sometimes put fear in our mind to hold us back or change our original direction. Listen, I can't tell you how many times I have listened to other people tell me, you're never going to be able to do it. You can't do it that way, right? You're not, it will never work this way. You have to do it this way. People give you advice based on what they are afraid of and what they feel that they would be able to do or not do. You cannot listen to other people's limitations on what your dreams and your passion is. If you listen to other people, you're going to change courses and you're going to fear the outcomes that they had when that may not even be your experience. So I would challenge you today to take these three things with you. Failure doesn't mean that you are not successful. Failure is on the road to being successful, right? But you have to determine what you're looking for in business and what that experience teaches you as you continue to grow your business. Don't give up on your business. So take these three things with you, okay? Take the negative feelings from the experience, but keep what you learn about business. Too many times we feel our way through a learning experience when we should be learning how to navigate that experience. Number two, identify what fears were attached to the failure. Most times when we fail, it is because we are too fearful to follow through with the experience. So most of it is not a true failure, but instead we quit before we fail just to save face. And then number three, we fail because we don't trust our gut. Listening to other people's experiences, limitations, and problems can sometimes put fear in our minds or hold us back or change our course of direction. All right, my name is Lavelle Hewitt. I want you to take those three things with you. Failure is a word. It's not the process itself. All right. DoItInTheDark.com. Do It in the Dark on YouTube, podcastdoit.com for more information and tips on how to build and grow your business, man. I'm here to help. Peace.